Shopping can be confusing at the best of times, and trying to find environmentally friendly options makes it even more difficult. Welcome to our Sustainable Shopping series, in which we ask experts to provide easy eco-friendly guides to purchases big and small. Tuna is the most popular canned fish eaten in Australia and one of the most popular fish produced worldwide. The total catch of tuna in 2013 was about 7.4 million tons. Tuna is a massive industry and most of this catch ends up in cans. But while each can of tuna might look similar, the environmental impacts of different brands vary. So, with a sea of eco-friendly labels and choices, how do you know which is the most sustainable? Read more. Australian endangered species, southern bluefin tuna. Almost all Australian canned tuna is imported. Australia produces large amounts of high-end seafood such as rock lobster, abalone and fresh tuna, but most of this doesn't end up in our supermarkets. It is exported to countries willing to pay more. Instead, roughly 70% of all seafood eaten in Australia is imported. Most of this includes lower value products such as frozen fish, frozen prawns and canned tuna. Australia is a major market for canned tuna. Almost all of the canned tuna sold here comes from Thailand, which processes about half of the world's tuna supply. It is now almost impossible to buy Australian-produced canned tuna since large-scale production in Australia ended in May 2010. While it is not unusual for a developed country to import large amounts of seafood, Australia is failing to meet international standards for sustainable seafood trade. Australia has strict requirements for seafood exports, but seafood imports are largely unregulated. This means it can be difficult to know if the imported seafood you buy was caught sustainably or even legally. Catching 7.4 million tons of tuna. High global demand drives unsustainable fishing practices. These practices include overfishing, issues related to bycatch, which is the accidental catch of other marine animals like dolphins, turtles and seabirds, and illegal, unregulated and unreported, IUU, fishing. Now, 77% of the world's fisheries are fished at their limit or beyond. Unsustainable fishing practices have devastating effects on the health of the marine ecosystem and the livelihoods of fishers. With this in mind, it is more important than ever to know about the origin of your fish. Some species of tuna are fished at sustainable rates, whereas others are overfished. The most common species that end up in cans are skipjack and yellowfin tuna. Both of these species have sustainable stocks in the Western and Central Pacific Ocean, WCPO. Skipjack also has sustainable stocks in the Indian Ocean. Higher value species such as big eye and bluefin varieties are usually reserved for sushi and sashimi markets. Southern bluefin tuna is overfished and is listed as critically endangered by the IUCN. Read more. Australian endangered species, southern bluefin tuna. The type of catch matters. The most sustainable fishing methods for tuna are pole and line and fad-free per seine. However, each method has a catch.